Hello, everyone. I wanted to do a review with you. I've got a copy of the test, the final exam, and 50 questions all from Chapter 13. So what I did was go through these sections, starting with biopsychosocial, and on those first few pages, I've selected 10 questions. So you're going to have to distinguish between a biological cause, a psychological, or social. So social would be like a poor neighborhood. Biological would be some sort of brain dysfunction, chemical imbalance, or born with these predispositions. And psychological would be your thinking. It's irrational and leads you to the behaviors. Be sure that you know what the developmental psychopathology approach is. It's predictors. It helps you see risk factors so you can intervene. And it talks about overt and covert, internalizing, externalizing behaviors is how kids respond. I didn't pull any questions from the section on stress and coping on those next few pages. But anyway, the first 10 questions will come from this introductory section, and so pay attention to that. The second major section deals with substance abuse on page 446 and the different drugs, including alcohol and all the different categories. And questions 11 through 27 are, as I told you earlier, about 16 questions, probably the most questions from any section. So you're going to make sure that you know that males are more likely than females to consume alcohol, that it's a depressant, that there's some symptoms associated with it, as far as the central nervous system. Questions about the hallucinogenic drugs and the depressants, and the stimulant drugs. So 16 questions over those next few pages. Again, figure 5 on page 452 is probably helpful because it does show you the categories and the various symptoms of all the different drugs. But just pay attention to that. I'm looking through now, and I'm looking to the next major section, and that's on page 454 under juvenile delinquency. Questions 28 through 33 are the next 6 questions, the different levels of juvenile delinquency that I gave you, as to whether it was a status offense or an index offense and so on, who's more likely by gender, which would be males and so on. Questions like that under juvenile delinquency. And there is some information in that little section there. I'm just looking as I look on the test that I don't remember mentioning, but look at the little section there of Erik Erikson and his view of how it's related to juvenile delinquency and kids' development in adolescence. The next major section is on page 459, and that's depression and suicide. So it looks like questions number 34 through 44 will cover those issues. And so it starts off with the symptoms of depression, questions about male and female prevalence rate, and why females are more likely to be diagnosed with depression, and some other areas like that. And then a number of questions dealing with suicide over on page 461. For instance, I mentioned that it's the third leading cause of death among young people. Is quite common and triple the number among the emerging adult population. Talked about ethnicity among the American Indian and the Alaskan Native people. So be sure you read that. The most common reason given is depression. I wish I had more time because I'm giving it to you kind of just scratching the surface here, but I'm just trying to point out what you should be paying attention to. And then finally, from questions 45 through 50, it's the eating disorders, the anorexia nervosa. And I do need to correct something from my lecture. I think I said less than 2%, but actually it's less than 1%. It's an extremely small group. It's predominantly female, far more likely, probably 10 times more likely female than male. The anorexia is the most serious. And then distinguish the differences between them, bulimia and purging, and bulimia, non-purging, and so on. And so that's your final questions 45 through 50. Hopefully that'll give you some idea where to spend your time. Obviously, the highest number of questions is on the substance abuse stuff. It looks like 16 or more questions. So I hope that's helpful to you. Quick reminder now, we're heading to finals. I'm going to confirm this. Are we talking Monday? Monday, it'll open at 8 o'clock, be open for 24 hours, and that will determine your grade as far as the 4 tests and the movie assignment. And I'll be posting those grades so you can review and make sure there's no errors. And good luck. If you have any questions, of course, email me. Thank you.